All right, everyone get ready because today we are going deep on octopuses. We're going to unpack some really cool research and stories about these creatures, the ones with 9 brains and blue blood, to really understand what makes them so unique.
Yeah, what I find so interesting about octopuses is that they just kind of blow apart our ideas of intelligence.
Yeah.
We usually think of mammals as the smart ones, but the octopus shows us that evolution can come up with some pretty wild stuff.
It really makes you wonder if we've been thinking about intelligence all wrong. I mean, you know how octopuses can squeeze through spaces that seem way too small, like a tiny hole the size of a coin?
Right. That's because they don't have any bones. Being boneless lets them get around, hunt, and escape in ways that seem almost like magic to us bony creatures.
And then there's that whole 9 brains thing. Not like us humans could ever multitask like that.
Well, it's not exactly 9 brains in the way we think of them. Each arm has like a cluster of neurons, kind of like a mini brain that lets it process information and act on its own. So
Yeah.
it's more like having 8 experts on your team, each with their own specialty working at the same time. And the central brain is like the conductor coordinating all these individual efforts.
So while their central brain is calling the shots, each arm is basically a whiz kid figuring things out on the go. Talk about efficiency. But wait, there's more blue blood. Is it because they're royalty of the sea?
Not quite, though they certainly act like it. The blue color actually comes from hemocyanin. It's a copper-based protein that carries oxygen in their blood. And here's the cool part. Copper is more efficient at transporting oxygen in those cold, low-oxygen environments, like way down deep in the sea.
So their blue blood isn't just a cool quirk. It's actually a vital adaptation for surviving down in the deep, dark depths where a lot of octopuses live. Speaking of adaptations, octopuses aren't just physically impressive, they've got the brains to match. There was this one study where octopuses were unscrewing jars to get to food inside. Are they learning? Are they problem solving? What's going on there?
Those problem-solving abilities that you're talking about really suggest that octopuses have a level of intelligence that we are only starting to understand, and their ability to figure things out, especially when you consider they live solitary lives, really challenges our traditional ideas of intelligence.
So, no mentors, no copying their buddies. They're out there figuring things out on their own. It begs the question, what other incredible feats are they capable of that we haven't even observed yet?
That's the thing about studying octopuses. There's always a sense of mystery, always more to learn, and one of the most captivating areas is their camouflage.
Oh, right. It's like they can disappear and reappear whenever they want. One minute they're a rock, the next they're seaweed, and then poof, gone. How do they do it?
The science behind it is surprisingly complex. They have these special skin cells called chromatophores that contain pigments, and these pigments can expand or contract, which changes the color of their skin. It's almost like having thousands of tiny paintbrushes, all controlled by the octopus's nervous system.
So it's more than just changing color, it's a dynamic process, almost artistic. I wonder, is this all just for hiding, or could it be a way of communicating with each other, too? I mean, some scientists think they might use those color changes during mating displays or territorial disputes.
That's a great question, and it's one that researchers are still trying to figure out. You see, their ability to change color so quickly and precisely, along with all their complex body language, suggests that there's a whole world of communication going on beneath the waves that we're just beginning to understand.
And you know what else blew my mind? Octopuses can regenerate limbs.
Can you imagine losing an arm and just growing a new one? It seems like something out of science fiction, but for octopuses, it's just reality. And this incredible ability is all thanks to stem cells, which in turn into different types of cells. Scientists are still trying to figure out all the details of how it works.
Makes me think about all the possibilities for human medicine. I mean, could we one day learn to regenerate limbs or organs by studying octopus regeneration?
It's a fascinating area of research, for sure. There are a lot of challenges and ethical things to think about, of course, but the potential benefits are just enormous. It's a field with huge promise. And speaking of incredible feats, their life cycle is no less remarkable.
Right. From what I've read, they live fast and die young, dedicating themselves to the next generation in this really dramatic way.
Yeah, most octopus species only live for a year or two, and the female, after mating, she dedicates her entire life to protecting her eggs, often even giving up food, and ultimately dying after they hatch.
It's a poignant example of the sacrifices parents make for their offspring, and it speaks to the incredible diversity of life strategies that exist on Earth.
Absolutely. The octopus's short lifespan and the fact that they only reproduce once, while it might seem strange to us, is a strategy that has worked for them for millions of years.
Well, it's definitely a strategy that has captivated humans for centuries. I mean, they pop up in myths and folklore and even in modern pop culture as these mysterious and intelligent creatures.
Their presence in all those stories and art just shows how powerful they are as symbols. They often represent intelligence mystery, the unexplored depths of the ocean. It reflects our fascination with the strange and wonderful creatures that share our planet.
And that fascination is driving some really important research, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Scientists are studying their brains to learn more about intelligence. They're looking at their regenerative abilities for medical applications and even using their unique adaptations for inspiration in things like robotics and engineering. They're like a living library of innovation.
Okay, so we've established that octopuses are amazing. But with all this research and growing interest, there are some ethical questions that come up, don't there?
You're absolutely right. As we delve deeper into their intelligence and capabilities, we need to make sure that we're treating them with the respect and care they deserve.
So where do we go from here? How do we make sure that our growing fascination with octopuses benefits both them and us in the long run?
That's a question we're going to explore further after a short break. Stay with us.
So before the break, we were talking about the ethical questions that come up when we talk about octopus research. And we've learned how incredibly intelligent they are. So doesn't that change how we approach studying them?
Yeah, it absolutely does. For a long time, our rules for animal research have been all about making sure we don't physically harm them. But with octopuses, we're starting to see that we need to think about their mental well-being too. It's a complicated issue, but a really important one.
So are you saying that octopuses could feel things like boredom or anxiety when they're in captivity? How can we even begin to figure that out?
That's exactly what scientists are trying to understand right now. They're looking at octopus behavior in different environments, seeing how they respond to all kinds of things, and coming up with ways to assess their well-being. It's a really cool area of research that could change how we do studies in the future.
It sounds like we're still in the early stages of understanding this whole thing. So what does that mean for the research that's already happening? Like, what about all the research on their incredible regenerative powers?
Well, the potential of octopus research is huge. I mean, think about it. Their ability to regenerate limbs could lead to amazing treatments for people with spinal cord injuries or people who have lost limbs. But we need to be really careful and make sure the octopuses are treated well.
It's tricky balance, wanting to learn all these amazing secrets from them while making sure we're not being unethical. And it's not just research that raises ethical questions, right? What about people eating octopus?
That's another big topic these days. Octopus is getting really popular as a food, which means more and more octopus farms are popping up. And that raises concerns about sustainability and whether the octopuses in these farms are being treated humanely.
So we need to make sure any farming practices are humane and don't hurt the wild populations. Sounds like there's so much more we need to learn about what octopuses need to thrive in captivity.
Absolutely. We're learning new things about octopus intelligence and behavior all the time. And that knowledge should guide how we treat them, both in research and in aquaculture.
It's like we're on this fast track of discovery, learning incredible things about octopuses. But with each new thing we learn, we have to face a whole new set of ethical challenges.
That's how it goes with scientific progress. It forces us to challenge what we think we know and make difficult decisions. But I